Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the afternoon edition. My name is Issa Nu. Today we shall be discussing issues that pertains to the Kogi State election, governorship election, which will commence in November 11, or probably which will take place on November 11. The Independent National Electoral Commission says that the Kogi State November 11 governorship result will be transmitted electronically directly from the polling unit to its server. The Resident Electoral Commission in Kogi State, Professor Gabriel Longpet, disclosed that during a two-day media roundtable engagement on the Kogi election organized by the Independent Press Center, IPC, in Abuja. Professor Longpet said the electronic transmission of the result will help to eliminate rigging, electoral fraud, and other irregularities, and to ensure the enthronement of credibility and transparency in the electoral process. He further noted that there is that strong need to assure the people of the state when it comes to the issue of security for the success of the election due to probably what happened in the 2019 election. And he said that the Kogi electorate needs to come out and vote, as the election will be free from any rancor based on the support they are getting. So less than 60 days to the off-season gubernatorial election in Kogi State, politicians in the state have hoped their campaign to succeed the incumbent governor, Governor Bello. Residents of the state have also urged political actors to eschew violence, as the people's blood is worth more than their political ambition. Already a lot of people have raised the alarm over what they term disturbing wave of violence in the last few months, and the threat to possess to peace, and the threat it poses to peace and harmony in the state. Agitation for the position of the governorship is rife in the state right now, signaling a possible tension before or during the election. Why some people in the southern Kogi eastern part are putting the pressure that, well, this time around the leadership of the state have to come from the eastern part. Other regions, including the central, said no, we have to complete the tenure of 16 to 18, 19 years before it can move to probably the other region. The Okuns are also agitating. The three regions all have candidates, and the issue now is who will be the one to be in the Legal House after the November election when the result is declared. For instance, in the Okun axis, where they have Dino Melaye's People's Democratic Party, and then Leki Abejide of African Democratic Congress, and Olayinka Brimo of Action Alliance. In Okun, the agitation for power rotation has been on for so many years, but the dilemma of presenting a single candidate now is the real issue. It was also reported by Punch newspaper that the candidate of the Accord Party in person of Admiral Jibril Usman, retired, has said a total of 10 political parties have collapsed their structures to support his aspiration. For the APC, the candidate of the APC in person of Honorable Usman Ododo, he has been pulling also his own weight, with so many political opposition parties resigning their posts and then returning back to APC to give the APC the needed support. But today we'll be discussing this conversation we'll be having this conversation with nobody but Honorable Olabode Adeomi, who is a special advisor to the governor, and also Honorable Atiku Abubakar Issa, who is the spokesperson of the Accord Party gubernatorial candidate. So we'll take a very short break, and when we return, we start up with the conversation.
As a free state in 20th century Africa is the need to revive the stature of man in Africa and restore the dignity of man in the world. Nigerians believe passionately in the fundamental human rights. We regard all races of the human family as equal. Under no circumstance shall we accept the idea that the black race is inferior to any other race. I appeal to all our leaders, far and near, to forget the wounds which were inflicted in cause of our internecine altercation. The love of our country should outweigh the love of our petty selves. The enjoyment of individual freedom under the law should mean more to us than our self-centered party programs and manifestos. Common dangers and common enemies alert us on the need for common security. Come and join Abubakar with me, Sadauna, Awolowo, Akitola, Ofarebe, Okpara, Ikoku, Aminu Kano, Ibrahim Imam and Taka. Let us bind the nation's wound and let us heal the breaches of the past so that in forging our nation, there shall emerge on this continent a hate-free, fear-free, and greed-free people who shall be in the vanguard of a world task force whose assignment is not only to revive the stature of man in Africa, but to restore the dignity of man in the world. The welfare of millions of people for generations to come may be affected by the wisdom which we here display. If Nigerian leaders and our British partners are to prove themselves worthy of their trust, now is the time for us solemnly and truly to dedicate ourselves to seeking the greatest good of the greatest number of our people in Nigeria. Independence for Nigeria in 1960 is imperative. But independence for Nigeria as a corporate entity is not enough. The peoples of Nigeria must at the same time be guaranteed their freedom. We must ensure that in an independent Nigeria, individual citizens throughout the land enjoy liberty, human dignity, and equality under the law. There must be one Nigeria with one constitution and one law for all. Let us therefore, Mr. Chairman, sir, close our ears to the counsel of despair, which says that we cannot here at this conference agree on a constitution. If there is any doubt among us as to what should be written into the constitution, let us, as Democrats that we profess ourselves to be, refer such problems, as the goal has done recently, to the people whom we profess to represent, either just before or at the federal elections late in 1959.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of ASO Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, ASO Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
Welcome back from the mild break, and just before the break I did inform you that we'll be discussing the issue of Kogi State November election, gubernatorial election, and at the same time we'll look at the preparedness of political parties, most especially the ones we have here in the studio, that of the All Progressive Congress and the Accord Party. And with us here in the studio is Honorable Omoluabi Bode Adeyemi, who is the Director General of Ododo Mandate Group and also Special Advisor to the Governor on Civil Service and Labour Matters. And also to my left is Atiku Abubakar Isa, a well-known person in the National Association of Nigerian Students, an advocate for students, and is currently the spokesperson to the gubernatorial candidate of Accord Party in person of Admiral Usman Jibril, retired. So good afternoon to you guys, Honorable, for being in this program today. Atiku, it's nice having you, and this is my first time having you on the platform. But then let me quickly start with Honorable Omoluabi Bode Adeyemi. Honorable, how is your preparation so far? I just noticed that your party released names of committees to plan towards the November election yesterday.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, Nigerians. Well, in responding to your question, I want to say that as a political party that is the most populous and the most acceptable, we are always prepared, we are always ready, and we are always available for election at any time. APC is a party that is running as an institution, and we are contesting against parties that are actually that emerges as a result of elections that are around. We have done election in February. Our machineries are still very well intact. We won landslide in all elections, and November 11 will be a walkover by the grace of God.
Well, let me allow the Accord Party spokesperson to respond to that. I believe you've listened to him, and I know your party also have been in top gear in preparing for the election. How far have you prepared? You can hear that your opposition now is saying that they see it as a walkover election. What's your reaction to that?
I'm happy you have already started calling them opposition. So the opposition...
Well, there is always, in politics, where you have more than one party, there are always opposition.
There will be opposition political party at the state level come November 11th, by the grace of God. We have no doubt about that. This is because, yes, while I agree with him with some of the things he has said, of course, APC as a political party is a large political party with followership. Well, let me remind him that though today I am the spokesman for the governorship candidate of Accord Party, Admiral Usman Jibril, a highly respected personality who started from the scratch of his career and reached the zenith of his career, but he cannot say the same for his own candidate, who was a puppet, a man who was unknown as at 2015 when we won election for Prince Abubakar Audu. I say we because I helped Governor Yahya Bello. As governor, he calls me. I call him. The last conversation I had with him before he stopped calling me was, I was upset. When I called him, I said, Excellency, how are you, Excellency? He said, fine, who is this? I said, this is Atiku. He said, which Atiku? I said, Atiku that helped you to become governor of Kogi State. I know that is insulting, but because I said that to spite him, because he had already derailed from the good governance which he expected, because we worked for the good governance. Let me put it on record before I go back to our governorship candidate, that in 2015, when Prince Abubakar Audu won the primaries, he came second. He went to Governor Idris Yahya. With Abdullah Idola, the APC chairman, they collected about 100 million naira from Governor Idris Wada. To the glory of God, Governor Idris Wada is still alive. Abdullah Idola is alive. Makama is alive. When the time comes, we'll prove all of these things. He collected about 100 million naira from Captain Idris Wada to work for PDP against APC.
But has that affected the preparation of your current...
The preparation we are talking about, you see, I want to give you the background of these people so that you know that these are people that are not only unreliable, but if they do not...
Before we go into the details of all this, is your party ready to win the governorship election?
my party is ready, just like you read in your opening statement, that our principal, Admiral Usman Jibril, the Accord Party candidate, did say that about 10 political parties have come together to see that they support a credible candidate that will be able to turn around the fortunes of the state, because the state as it is now, it is in a state, in a pitiable situation where you need somebody who has the capacity to be able to turn things around, because it is not only that salaries are not being paid, it is shameful. And it is disrespectful for me to sit down with somebody who is even advisor on labor. What are you advising? You are advisor to labor. You should be ashamed that the same labor workers are being paid 2,400, 2,900 naira on a monthly basis, and you remain a special advisor. Do you have conscience? Do you have conscience to serve in the government and as advisor on labor where 2,700 naira is paid as salary?
My concern here, Atiku Abubakar, my concern here is not to the personality. Now,
it's not about personality. We are not talking about personality. No. We are talking about advisor on labor. And the salaries of 2,400, 700, 1,000 naira are being paid. If you don't resign, it means something is wrong. And these are the caliber of people around Governor Hayebelu. He does not want people who have capacity, those who have something to offer, to be around him. Because let me allow Honorable Omoluabi to respond to this, because you are raising issues, and I believe he can also speak for, because you are also discussing issues that has to do with his own position as special advisor. But my major concern is, I will allow him to respond to some of the issues you've raised, but still on how prepared is the party and what are the issues he feels the party need to address before the November election. So please, Honorable.
Well, it will be very funny for me to want to go away from the issue of election to respond to fabricated falsehood. And it's unfortunate that we allow political interest to make us keep our eyes off what can be the truth and want to paint issues the way they are not. Of course, he's not saying the truth, and it's obvious that he's far from the reality of what is happening in Kogi. But what I'm concerned about is the fact that we have an election on the 11th of November. And what I'm here to discuss is the preparedness of my party. And by the grace of God, like I told you earlier, we have done election in February. We won election landslide. We are set for November 11th election. It is very laughable and unthinkable for APC to be standing shoulder to shoulder with Accord Party. Accord is an emergency party for somebody to run election. What is the antecedent of Accord in Kogi State politically? What structure as Accord Party? What is the political experience and capacity of the candidate or the running mate? The running mate is my cousin, and I know that they are just people that just came quickly because they want to contest the election. So why should I discuss that? We are focused on winning election. Governor Hayebelu, no matter how you want to describe him, has won election 2 times and is rounding up his tenure. And APC has a candidate as we speak. And by the grace of God, he's going to win election. It's not about coming to banter, to talk about individual, talking about things that are not verifiable, things that are demeaning and not, that are inconsequential. Coming to talk about salary that you don't know about. It is a fallacious falsehood to say that somebody is collecting 1,000, 2,000. It's not true. And we should not elevate falsehood because we are discussing politics. But what I think we should have our eyes on what is important in winning election. Because after November 11, you will not hear about Accord again. And by 2027, they will come again to want to run election. So when you are coming to run election, let's have our eyes focused on the people that are going to vote. Let us see how we can sell our candidates and our manifesto rather than promoting falsehood. That is what makes politics look dirty. When we go off guard, when we go to discuss issues that are not just because, and they are irrelevant to winning election. Because if you are not popular in your polling unit, no matter how much you insult on every television station, it doesn't bring any result. Labour Party insulted Tinubu throughout. They came with different things. He won election because he was popular, because he has structure everywhere, and because he had people, men of capacity, who have what it takes to deliver, and they deliver. For instance, in APC, in the last 3 months, we have emptied almost all opposition party. The longest serving lawmaker that Kogi East has ever produced is Senator Ata Idoko. He has moved to APC. The longest serving representative that they have produced in Lokoja Koto, apart from late Buba Jobe, is Shaba, who just finished House of Rep. He has moved to APC. The former House of Rep member, Honorable Samaro, he has moved to APC. The former Deputy Governor, Yomi Awoni, he has moved to APC. The State Treasurer, Zonal Chairman of PDP, all of them have moved to APC. This is how to discuss the election. It is not about going to sell falsehood. It's about the political structure. It's about the acceptability of the political actors of your candidate.
What will be the manifesto of your party? Because now that the list is out, what will be their major chant when they go out to campaign for to Kogites to vote for them in the election?
You see, we are not our party is not one that is already put together for election. It's one that has a governor that is currently serving, who has done excellently well, who has elevated delivery of good governance across board. I have been in the Kogi state at least for 20 years doing this politics, and I know how things were, and I know how things are now in terms of infrastructure, in terms of healthcare delivery, in terms of education. He is a governor who has established 2 universities in 4 years. 2 universities. He's a governor who has built 6 ultra-modern general hospital in 8 years. If you are going to Lokoja, just on your left at Jegu, you will see the one built there. Go to Okene, you will see Okene Reference Hospital. It has been discussed in almost all TV stations where most of the machines are either first or second that we have around here. That is good. Delivery of dividends of democracy to people in healthcare delivery. Ida Ajaka Ubomi to Ejule Junction Road, 56 kilometers. Yabelo did 70% of it. It's a place I know very well that I've passed through. And Partnership Road, under the administration of Yabelo, he has done that road.
So at what point, before I'll come to you, I just want you to also amass some of the things that he's saying, and before you respond. So at what point should people now decide on if they are going to vote for the APC or the candidate? Who should they look out for?
People have decided.
Yes.
We are only waiting. We are in touch with the people. We are in government. We have done election in 2015, we won. We have done election in 2019, we won. We just did election in 2023, we won. We are going to do this, we will win. We are not like political parties that are just coming on board now that want to even define their name.
Okay,
let
me ask Atiku Abubakar. Atiku, you've listened to him, and I know your party, some of probably maybe the gubernatorial candidate was once in the APC, and he has stated that your candidate is in a party that is known to be an emergency party. What kind of reaction do you have towards that, and what do you think your party have done so far that will make them win this election?
The party he calls an emergency party. It is the exigency of the moment that has led to that. I did APC registration in Niger State. I was a returning officer for the governorship election of APC in Ebonyi State. I was a member of APC senatorial primaries in Anambra Central. So I was a founding member of APC. His Excellency, Admiral Usman Jibri, has been and is still a man who holds Asiwaju in very high esteem, and he has always supported Asiwaju. That is a fact. We in the Accord Party love Asiwaju, and we hold him in very high esteem. But I need to put forward an analogy to showcase the level of decadence in the society, and a tiny stick of marsh ignited by a naughty playful shadow on a combustible object, which may develop into an inferno that could consume a whole village. But if an elder around would keep a watchful eye or rise immediately to put off the initial playful fire, it will save the whole village and the content therein. There is an emergency that requires the attention of the president and those elders who mean well for our country, because the caliber of people from Kogi. But before I do that, let me quickly show I don't just speak like that. This is the amount that was paid to a staff, you can see Kogi State government, a salary that was paid 2,000 by Subeb. The salary is 2,589. You see, so I don't like. When I speak, I have my facts because I'm not just a Muslim. I am a practicing Muslim, which means that I will have to account for every statement I utter. And I know in a short period of time, I will stand before my Creator. So I don't just utter. There's a distinction between politics, lies, and criminality. Let me go back to some of the issues he has raised. He did say that they have former this, former that, former that. Let me tell you that one of the most successful senators in Kogi State, former senator, is Senator Nicholas Ubane. He was chairman Senate Committee on INEC. He was chairman Senate Committee on Power at different time. He was in the Senate for 8 years. He is one of those who are in the forefront. We held a meeting with him yesterday. In the forefront for Admiral Usman Jibri. The former Deputy Speaker, Emmanuel Omebije, is with Admiral Usman Jibri. Former House of Rep member, Positive Yabe, is with Admiral Usman Jibri. A former senator, Abubakar Abdullah Relue, is with Usman Jibri. A former member of House of Rep for Ankpa Omala is with Admiral Usman Jibri. Many House of Assembly members, former House of Assembly members, at least I've mentioned 2 senators. Do you now see this Accord Party to be a party that has been hurriedly put in place without men? We're talking about men who mean well for the people of Kogi State. They are there. People have come together. It's like a movement, not a political party. It's a movement to salvage Kogi State. And that is why you will find people from all the political parties. These men I have mentioned, some of them were in APC. So, not were in APC, were the founding members of APC. Some of them founding members of PDP. So all of these people have come together to say, oh, at the moment, other political parties do not have a candidate. And because they do not have a candidate, there is a need for us to come together collectively and be able to rescue the state from the maladministration of Governor Yahya Bello, who did not only pay salary, but has plunged the state into a state where religion is almost cancelled. Why did I say so? There are no longer people around him cannot claim to be either Muslims or Christian because of the level of fetishism in the state. I prove that. No, I need to prove that. I need to prove that. I need to prove that. Let me prove that. Let me prove that. No. Let me prove that, please. Let me prove that. No, you cannot stop me from proving. No, it's not. No. Let me tell you, if you come out ordinarily now, I can't talk about you. No.
But the governor is not.
Ododo is a puppet who has not. He has never been known in his life. He has never done anything. Let me tell you, I did say, and I mean my word. I, Atiku, cannot employ Ododo as the head of the cleaners in my company because I take high responsibility for the people who work with me. If you must have something upstairs before you can work with me, because I am a very logical person who values wisdom and knowledge. He doesn't have that, so it is the reason why we have come together. Let me tell you why he picked Ododo. He has picked Ododo because Ododo was the auditor for local governments, where such salaries, where monies are being siphoned, and local government staff were not paid. I have given you one of the.
It's not enough because we are talking about state now.
We are talking about state. The reason why, you see, you do not talk about a personality if he has not brought forth himself for an election. If you say you want to lead people, then we have to scrutinize your personal life.
But then will this help your party to win the election?
It will help my party to win the election because anybody in Kogi State knows that a puppet is not capable of leading a local government, not more of being the governor of the state. That's number one. So you cannot, where you have an accomplished military officer who rose from the scratch to become the chief of naval staff, built a naval university in Delta, brought security to Kogi State by bringing the naval base in Lokoja. Another one in Niger local government, a man that has done so much in a very short period of time, who has a responsible family, highly intelligent children, who is a successful man in public and private life. You cannot compare him to all other countries, not only Ododo.
The APC released the names of their campaigners yesterday and the committees that are in charge of the campaign. Has your party done that?
Our party is coming out with a campaign council. I have just been appointed as a spokesman, and other members of the campaign council will be inaugurated in few days to come.
So invariably, your party have not actually started campaign across the 21 local government.
We are going to the west tomorrow. From the west, we are going to the east. From the east, we go to the central. The deputy governorship candidate has been in the west working, and he has been working, and we are seeing the acceptance in the west, because that's where he comes from, and the level of acceptance has shown to us that this election is going to be a walkover, because we are not considering APC. The only party we are considering that might pose a challenge is probably the PDP, because the people have come to realize that given the level of political awareness of the candidate of the PDP, his exposure and his knowledge, being a graduate from ABU Zaria and being a comrade also, is the only person, maybe probably that will come a distant second. We are not talking about APC because they do not have a candidate. He can't come out to speak. He can't come out to speak.
Let me come back to Honorable Adeyemi. Honorable, you've listened carefully to him, and I know your party have already put up structure. But one thing that struck my mind yesterday was saying that the Director General of the campaign of the Accord Party is also part of the names that were released by your party yesterday, in person of Professor Daniel Issa. What can you say with respect to this, having the DG of the campaign of Atiku's party?
No. Campaign council has not been released. Where do you have him as DG?
No, he's a member. He's a member of
for the APC. DG for who? You said DG of Accord Party.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Where? I have just told you that the list of our campaign council has not been released, and you are telling me of a DG of
a member of your campaign council. Let me get that straight to you. Okay. And I think I did have a notice to that particular effect, which was I
am the official spokesman for Admiral Usman Jibri. Okay. You can only take it from me. You can't give me. I am the one to give it to you.
I'll take it.
Because I'm the official campaign spokesman.
Okay, sorry. It was stated that he is a member of your party. That's Professor
our party is a conglomeration of all other political parties. So if you have Issa Daniel is a respected person. He was Director General for the APC governorship candidate, Prince Abubakar Audu, who emerged victorious before Abelo came in. So now he wants good governance. All of them will
to put that straight. Yes. To put that straight, Professor Issa Daniel has a campaign council where is the Director General. That's the campaign name of the campaign council under that accord is Akpabana Campaign Council. So not actually the Accord Party Campaign Council. Let me put that straight. But so let me quickly come back to you, Honorable Adeyemi. So with respect to what you've seen so far, some of these members of other political parties are still member of your campaign council. How will your party manage that?
Like I told you earlier, that the only functional political party that exists in Kogi as you speak is the All Progressives Congress. And all these people masquerading as a Accord, as SDP, they are all APC members. Professor Issa has not resigned his membership of APC. What the provision of the Constitution requires is for you to return that resignation before you join another. And we consider him as an important, even the candidate of Accord, I can tell you confidently that he's not even qualified to be in that election. I might require political party to submit names of party members a month before election. A month before election, he was not a member of Accord. In fact, before the one that he was, that they call him a candidate, he cannot be a candidate because the party even had a candidate before. So they cannot already come up with something. If you go to INEC now, except and only if Accord has not submitted the list of their party members to INEC as required by the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, his name can never be found there. If they are not submitted, it means that they are not known to that election. And if they are submitted, his name cannot be found there because he became a candidate after all of this period of before primary election have been completed. So how can APC now that has 3 serving senators, 6 members of House of Reps, 23 members of House of Assembly, 100 and something councillors, and been discussing with a party that does not even have a candidate, that does not even have a representation anywhere, that has never won election anywhere before. It is unthinkable. It can only be a media discussion like this. It cannot be a practical political discussion because Accord is not known anywhere. The candidate was not there when the name was submitted, but it is an issue of Accord. It's not our issue.
But before, in 2019, I remember it was part of those that contested on our party.
Under APC. That's what I'm telling you. I said I repeat to you again that a month to the primary election, the constitution required that you submit list of your political party. Every political party submit. I can confirm to you that a month to that primary election, the Admiral Jibril, they are masquerading around as a candidate, was not a member of Accord party.
I remember the Commissioner of Information, Mr. Kingsley, in one of the media, stated that he would even prefer an Accord party candidate, which was he was referring to Admiral Usman Jibril, retired, when he was asked about the question of the strength of the SDP. So for him to have made that statement that the Admiral Usman Jibril is well experienced, so how can you justify that?
Nobody has doubted his experience as a military officer.
But the Commissioner of Information recognized him there.
You are not getting my point. I'm also recognizing him here, that he is an intelligent man, no doubt. But how does that transform to winning election? Winning election is about political structure. We should not be deceiving ourselves with sentiments and emotions, ethnic coloration of political issues. It is about structure of a party. If your party, that's what we're telling Labour Party guys that time, and they were running everywhere, were shouting obedience. INEC shouted that they didn't have agents in almost how many thousand polling units. They were saying it's not a 100-meter race. This governorship election is Kogi has about 3,000 something polling units. Where will you find Accord anywhere there? No, it's not possible. They can only make it look interesting. They can make it look engaging and eventful by being candidates of different parties. So that they will not say it's only APC that is contesting election. But I cannot see them as serious political party contesting election. But it does not remove the personality that we're talking about. But I don't like to go about discussing personalities on issues like this, because what we are discussing is how we win election, how the people will vote the party, how the people will vote the candidate. And I'm telling you that we have a party that is in all polling units of Kogi State, and that all other parties, the only party that can come close to us in terms of structure is PDP. And I'm defining to you now how people have moved from different senatorial districts to PDP, and he's talking about a few individuals from one particular ethnic group who feel that their ethnic tribe should take leadership. That is the way they have reduced it to, not a political party.
Is PDP still a threat to your party?
It can never be a threat. No party can be a threat to our party in Kogi State, because what we are discussing is it's about structure. As I am telling you that the state executive members of PDP that have become to APC since the last election are more than 6. All the senatorial candidates, House of Rep candidates, the majority of them have become to APC. These are the people that have political track records. And we are still talking about Accord, or I don't seem to get it. I don't seem to understand it. Okay. But after November election, the reality will get done on everybody.
In respect to that, Honorable Atiku Abubakar Issa, you've also listened to him, and definitely you don't win election without having structures on ground. And before your candidate in person of Admiral Usman Jibril retired, before he decamped to the Accord party, was there any plan to put up structure across the 21 local government in Kogi State?
From the records, Admiral Usman Jibril, the Accord party's candidate, has been an intelligent man, which he also attests to. He did not contest the governorship primaries in APC.
In 2019?
In 20, the last one, this 2023. No, 2023, he didn't even buy form. There was
no governorship election in 2020.
The 2022 primaries that produced, the kangaroo primaries that produced Ododo. He was not part of the kangaroo primaries, the one that they wrote the result and declared Ododo as the winner. That's what I want to say. So now, meaning He's a strategic man. All the constitutional requirements, he has taken care of that. He will not come out and will not come out to tell you that, oh, you say our name is not there. Okay, we'll leave you at that, so that you say our name is not there. When we win the election, you go to court, and then we'll prove to you that our name has been there. So we'll continue to lead the state for the next 4 years when we take over by the grace of God in January 2024. So we do not have problem about that. If you had contested, this is not Murtala Yakubu Ajaka, who contested in APC and then ran to SDP. We are not talking about somebody who contested in APC and ran to SDP. This man did not contest in APC in 2022 when the kangaroo primary election that was conducted by the now Minister for State for Defense conducted and declared Ododo winner. He did not contest because he's strategic. He plans ahead. He doesn't just come and be talking anyhow. He does the work and allows the work to speak for him. So on the issue of whether his name is there or is not there, we will leave them to continue the speculation while we continue with our work to deliver and win election. But there's something very important I need to state very quickly, which is that that some persons in Kogi State are the ones who have aligned with Admiral Usman Jibri because they feel it is like a tribal thing. For the record, of all the fraudulent elections conducted by Muhammadu Buhari, let's leave those ones. Let's leave 2019 and 2023. The credible election.
But the former president, to get that clear, the former president didn't conduct any election.
He conducted. INEC conducted the election under the leadership when Muhammadu Buhari was the president of the commander-in-chief. So now, all those elections, as at that time, Yahya Bello had so much influence in the villa. And not only Habelo, Buhari as a leader was not a firm leader who could take certain positions. So anybody could have used him. I have said that severally, but that's not the topic of discussion. So that the election of 2015, which was conducted by a Democrat, former President Goodluck Jonathan, the result of that election shows that Kogi East, where Admiral Usman Jibri comes from, where the people have collectively said that this is our candidate, scored 210,000, both APC and PDP scored. I have the score. You can confirm from INEC. When I say anything, I prove because I was trained from ABU as a mathematician. So you don't just speak anyhow. Facts. The result says that the Kogi West and Kogi Central produced 211,573 votes. Kogi East, where Admiral Usman Jibri, the Accord Party's candidate, comes from, scored 228,770. So now if you minus 228,770 from 211,573, I think you have a difference about 17,910, but I'm not sure, but I know at least 17,000. So now, Kogi West, where Dino Abejide comes from, Kogi Central, where Ododo comes from, the two senatorial zones put together cannot have the number of votes of Kogi East alone. What does that say? Another fact again, these are verifiable facts. Kogi Central, where Ododo comes from, has 5 local governments. Out of those 5 local governments, 2 local governments from Kogi East, where you have 9 local governments, has more number of registered voters than the entire Kogi Central. And the Kogi Central, where it comes from, where they have 5 local governments, they do not have 5 local governments, it is 4. Because Ajakuta is only bearing.
I want us to round up because I will just have just few minutes and I want you to cap it up with whatever you are going to, so I can give Honorable Adiem the remaining 2 minutes to balance up. With what you've stated now, there is still indications that even in your own particular region, the Kogi East, where your candidate is from, there are other parties who also have strong candidates, and definitely that may actually be a threat also to him, even in his own region.
No, there are no other candidates in the region.
Well, there is that of the SDP that is well known in person of Murtala Yakubu Ajaka. There is that of Lona of the ABGA. There are several candidates, and NNPP, I know they are in court, but I don't know how far. So
all of these candidates are candidates that will support Admiral Usman Jibri because they know they don't. Why we acknowledge the capacity of Lona, the ABGA candidate, in the case of the SDP, you need to have at least secondary school certificate. He presented testimonial. So that is an issue that he might not even be able to go into the election. So we are left with Admiral Usman Jibril.
Okay, let me allow Honorable Adeyemi to respond to Capitop. Honorable, you've listened to him, and you know your party just have less than 60 days to this election. What should be people expect while you go on campaigning to the Kogites?
You mean in terms of during the campaign?
Your manifesto, yes.
Like I told you earlier, we are not beginning as a new party. We are a party that is in government, and the government already has 4 thematic areas of development. And
these are what?
In the healthcare delivery, we have had 6 brand new hospitals. The old ones also renovated and upgraded, like the Ida, Zona Hospital and the rest. Security, which the governor, of course, has won award in very many places to show his capacity to secure Kogi. We also have education, where the governor has established about 15 GYB models, brand new schools, and 2 brand new universities in just 4 years. And that is education, healthcare delivery, security, and of course women and youth empowerment and inclusive.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
We are going to build on all of this in the government of Alhaji Usman Ododo by the grace.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Omoluwa Abibode Adeyemi, the Director General of the Ododo Mandate Group and Special Advisor to the Governor on Civil Service and Labour Matters. It's nice having you today on the program. And also, Honorable Atiku Abubakar Issa, I can see, but while you are from Kogi State, I know how you solve your problem at home. It's nice having you being the spokesperson to the governorship candidate of the Accord Party in person of Admiral Usman Jibril, retired. It's nice having you today. This is how far we can go today on the program, and we definitely will always be praying and be wishing for a successful election, rancor free of insecurity challenges during the Kogi State November 11 election. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed. My name is Issa Nuh.